Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Salesforce courses. Today in a little bit different format. As I can see, there's one man who has joined. Hello Manal. Great. I think hello. I think we should dive in to the stuff. And for sure, it's a little bit more interactive today, and you are just one, and that's pretty good because, we can answer some questions, and in this format, it is pretty easy, I guess. So let's dive in what we did last time. It's still about the user story working times. So, in my opinion, they are partly working in the production, but they are not working correctly in a full way, and so I want to make sure that this tool is working so we can go on with other stuff. I have made the experience if we have a big environment, if we let something with an error, it can become very uncomfortable later on if we are extending the system more and more. It's like if you are building a house and if you let broken the fundamental, then the house in the end will be broken, and so it's gonna be like this comparison. So last time we have written that we needed to fix the code coverage, and for sure I've seen that's pretty an issue. And as you can see, we have some kind of structure and procedure we are following, and that's why we don't need to scroll through everything. We just do to scroll through the last two, I would say, cheddar posts. But that is already done, so the last one is need to fix the code coverage. Let's have a look on this. To fix this, I already let run the one test, and then we will have the code coverage in here. I need to emphasize the test environment of Salesforce. So you have the developer console for sure, and you will have this colors in here, but you need to make sure that you set up your execution or test execution correctly. And so you need to go to the setup, open it up, then you need to type in some kind of test or test execution or something, and then you go to the test execution. For this, we need to go to the options, and we need to take out this option because it will break the solution otherwise. It's just saying that it will summarize the code coverage and only aggregate it, but we want to have the code coverage for every single class in here, and so in this particular case we want to have it for this class, and so you can see we have 20% of code coverage, but we need at least 75% of code coverage. That's the prerequisite of Salesforce, and in my opinion it's also pretty good because we need to just test our code to be sure that it is working. And I think in the last episodes I've talked about some best practices, but if we come to this, I will repeat it for sure, of course. As you can see, we have some blue, and that's meaning this code has already been run through, and so the red one is not run through, and so we need to make sure that it is running, right? So what I'm gonna do is it's a little bit the first thing I implemented something here, but it's not working yet. That's why I will just comment it out. We can leave it alone just to show you maybe, but I will save this one, and next time maybe we can go on with it. That's the new routines, but we will close it by now. Okay. don't be afraid if you don't know something. For sure, as a developer, you need to be able to get information into your mind and filter the information correctly. And so you need a lot of practice for sure, because the information is pretty much, and so you are learning every day. It's like this. So I want to have the color again. So let me go through it. We have an overview also about the different test methods and so on. And as you can see here, with this test method, we are getting 20%. And that's exactly what we are going through. And as you can see here, it will execute this line. It's the last line it will execute, but it will not execute those lines. Yeah, the red lines. And so we need to make sure that it is executing it. I guess, in my opinion, we have put the wrong metadata in here, and that's why we will just get the metadata from there, right? So we are going to send an email. Yeah, send an email like, let's see, that this. Yeah, I prepared this. Yeah, that it's not in your environment. It's just like you have to write it on your own, but for sure, as a developer, you can do it. But just to emphasize you a little bit, the send email is exactly doing what it says it is doing. It will send an email. Yeah? At some point, you don't need to understand every single thing. You just need to understand the interfaces where you are. Yeah. And that makes the things as simple as it really is. Yeah? Don't try to get every single information. Just try to get the right information, and not. It's like not working harder. You need to work smarter for sure. Yeah, it's like this. Okay. Great. Let's go on. We want to get the correspondent data, so I will put in some kind of send email. Yeah, so I will put in to send an email like it's gonna be the metadata, right? So we're gonna get not the MIME type. Let's get the metadata in here. Yeah. Let's get the metadata, and so we in the subject we are gonna putting in the metadata. And also in the body, we will just put the metadata string. Yeah, and then we need to put in an email address. I will take a label. I would recommend to use a label. Yeah, because you just need to write it to one person, I guess, to have a look on this. Actually, it's not recommended to write it to several people, and that's why I'm not putting it into metadata type or something. I will just use the custom label. So at this point, maybe I will emphasize one point that is really different to metadata types, and also there are some kind of custom settings. Yeah. Earlier, Salesforce Node has known the custom settings, and by now we are just able to create new custom settings for profile IDs and also for user IDs. Yeah, but by now it is not possible to have like free ones of them. The advantage is that we can have metadata types in the outbound change sets, and custom settings are not in the outbound change sets. So I mean the records of them. Yeah. For sure, the metadata is in the outbound change set. It's always the case, but metadata types are handled as metadata. But to be sure that you understand, we will just come to it maybe in another episode or so. But we are going for the custom label one now. So the custom label can be read. Yeah, it's like you can change it also in the production environment. You don't need to provide any new functionality for this. You can just go ahead and change the data and change the email address in this case. We can also send it to another one. It's also good because if you are getting some sandboxes, you can just change the value within the sandbox. Yeah, and that's why we can just use the label. So we will call the label like system.label. Yeah, this the name of the label, and then it will send it this email to my email address because we have put it there. So what I gotta do is I will go to the back end, and maybe you can remember that we have put in some opportunities in here. Let's say we delete them. Yeah. As the quotes are linked to opportunities as master detail, they are deleted too, and so it's going on for every single sub record. Yeah, they are deleted too. Yeah, so the quotes are linked to opportunities as master detail. So the opportunity is the master, and the quote is the detail. And the same is for the Arbeitszeit or working time in this case. The concept is pretty much the same. You have the working time. The working time is linked to a quote as a master detail, so that the quote is going to be the master and the Arbeitszeit or working time is going to be the detail. And so if we are going to delete this quote, it will delete all the working times. Or let's say to put it into the concept, if you are going to delete the master, then all the details will be deleted all the time. Yeah, that's why we can just delete the opportunity and all quotes, and therefore all working times are going to be deleted. Don't be confused. The account is just a lookup, and that's why if you are deleting an account, the opportunity is not going to be deleted. Actually, it should be the case, but sometimes if the lookup is required, and also if you want to delete the correspondent records, then they will be deleted. So that can be the case. Let's see, we are deleting the opportunities. Okay, there was a problem. Undo. There was a problem. Doesn't matter. It's not our task to put them out of the system. We could report this issue, but it's not in a production environment, so it's not a big deal. But as you can see here, the opportunities are gone, so it's fine in my opinion. We can just skip this. Don't stuck at every single point. For sure, you need some experience for this, but in my opinion, we don't need to have a look on this. What we need to have is to run our code again. As we remember, it will take quite some time, and so maybe in the meanwhile, I will just go into the code and or into the test data, and just to make sure that everything is working properly. Or yeah, I just changed the test data. Now it's real test data, and no personal data is included, and that is really recommended in my opinion. So you have uncommitted work pending. Please commit. Okay. Actually, we didn't have a. Okay. Sure. We cannot send an email just because it would cause this error. The send email is creating some records in the background, and that is why we cannot do this. But what we can do, let me see. We can just create a new, no, not a new class. We're just going to the routines, just because they are our email routines, and so we want to send an email. We cannot do it in this transaction, right? Because of the error I just had. Let's try out the next step, I would say. Yeah. So there are some kind of levels or some kind of what is it called? Exchange now. Okay, I don't know what the word for this, but Let's go for the send email one. We will go for the send email blah blah blah. Yeah, maybe this one, but I think we want to have like this one. And no, actually I think we can also do it like with a future method. What I meant in the last sentence was I escalate something, yeah? Like you're escalating some issues. If a customer has an issue and you're escalating it to the higher or another one because you cannot solve the problem. In my opinion, it's not like the other one is higher, but like the other one is able to solve the problem maybe in a better way because they have different experiences. And so this is how we humans are working. We cannot solve everything. That's why we escalate it sometimes. But for sure, sometimes you need to think about the things. So I figured this out. Let's write down the line. It's the line 47. Then I will scroll up a little bit, get the name of the class. It's also the ticket, I guess. I think it's also the ticket. That's the abbreviation for this. As you can see, there's no number in here as those haven't been created. Actually, I don't know why. They should have been created. And so, yeah, I see the number is always better. That's why I go into the code. So this number is an automatic number. And as you can see here, we have the user story. And that's why I go into the object manager and I will get the user story. And also, I'm looking for the laufende Nummer. Yeah? Then I go to the field, laufende Nummer. And then we can get it. And actually, once we are creating those issues, those fields, it should be possible to create the numbers automatically. But I think it's only working if we just create this. Okay, so we have to live with that. That there for old ones there's no number, but for me it's not a big deal because we have the abbreviation, and so we can go on with that. So the abbreviation. The issue is if you want to be able to find the story by putting it in here maybe, then you can just get the abbreviation and then it will find it, yeah? Just go with this. I'm going to the home environment for sure. And then if you have the whites for this, you will see it, and if not, you won't see it, right? So as you can see here, there are quite some records for this, and also the user story, right? If you're looking for the user story, we can find it in here. Also, there are some search layouts, like if you want to change the search layouts, you can also change them. But let's go with our go on with our issue actually. Okay, I wanted to get the ABZ one. Yeah. This is going to be our class for sure, and we want to emphasize that that has been created because of this class, right? So that's going to be begin and end. I just want to be able to understand the circumstances and also the surroundings. So I only just copy this, and I think we are able to use several strings for a future method. That's why we can use it. Let's go for the future. And for sure we need to change the name. Then I will check the future, and then I know it's going to be the future, for the future. For every single situation, you should create a single method. Let's say if it's working, I think it should work. Yeah, it's working, so great. What I need to do is I just send this email. Yeah, I will just send this email. And as you can see, I don't have an overview about the program. Yeah, I don't know anything. Yeah, I just follow some steps and some procedures and basics. Then I'm able to solve the problems, yeah, some basic problems, and also just yeah, the stuff. I just have two information and I can solve the thing, yeah. And that is really always the target, that you can solve it in pretty low time, yeah. That's pretty much the concept, and it's really working. So what we're going to do is this. Let's say if it's yeah, the root times is gone, as you can see here, and now we have an issue with the ABZ one. Actually, the line is dependent class. Okay, it was just because of the root times, because we are using the root times in there. There was an issue, but by now there's not an issue. This is going to be the future for sure. It can cause an error, but as a developer, we don't need to figure out. We will let do the system all the work. So in here, we will just send the email with the future. And again, we will run the code. Now we can clear it, or we will just remember of the date, right? So that's going to be the best indicator, I would say. Just remember of the date. Or we can just take a picture. If maybe something is going on in here, we should take a picture, and then we are sure what we have done or when we have done. But by now it's enough if you have a look on this and nothing is going on in there, and so we are able to get the stuff. So execute again. We have uncommitted work. Please commit before rolling out. Okay, so it's not because of this line, I guess. There is some other stuff going on. Let's see, we are saving it to be sure about this. Okay, that's a little bit strange, to be honest, because the future should open up a new transaction, but by now this is executing, right? We could send an email, but we also can just debug the line, and maybe we should do this, just debug, yeah. System.debug, because we don't want to waste time on this, just to make sure we are on the right column. We'll just go for this, and we go for like what we're gonna do, we want to have the metadata string for sure. Okay, the metadata string, just to be sure to get the fresh one, we will put the system.debug in here. Our task is not to create the system email future. That would have been a helper method, but in this case it's not working out. I don't want to waste any time. That's why I will go for this. Actually, it's going to be a future and should open up a new transaction. But it's fine for me. That's okay. Let's go on with that. We are getting the debug string again. Just to be sure it is creating the real stuff, we will just... So it didn't do anything. It's good to know. Actually, something changed in here, and it should have created working times, to be honest. But it didn't. Good to know. Okay, let's go. We go for this one. We go for the create times. Let's go. That's like development stuff. It takes some time. The last time was success, actually. But as you can see, there was... Okay, no, let's see. That's a success as well. But it is not creating any opportunity, but it is supposed to be honest. Okay, but yeah, by now we have found a new aspect, a new error, to be honest. So as you can see, the amount of data is going to be big, 17 megabyte. As we don't need too much detail, we will go and set the debug for this. And as you can see, you will get some hints all the time, but after some experience, you will get used to it for sure. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this stuff for sure. We will put it into a data like this. We will save this data, like I will do it to download. We'll give it the name of today as we are creating it today. And it's gonna be like ABZ something, yeah. I will put it. Don't make it too complicated, and I will just have a look on it if it's any confidential data, but I think it's not. No, it's not confidential data. So as it is no confidential data, we can just go on, and we can just create like a custom, what is it called? Static resource. It's going to be a static resource. Yeah. The static resource we should, I think we should put the real data in there. That is why we should just change the data of this one, yeah, because we need it for in here. Let's go for this. Let's go for this metadata string. Go into this, look for this, and it's going to be this one, right? So it already has been created. We want to lower the amount of data that is being used in the system. That is why we should go for this, and we will go for the file. As you can see here, the file is for sure different, but also there's a MIME type actually, and actually it should go in text CSV. Okay. That is why it will go for text CSV, and we don't have the right data in here. As you can sorry, that's a user story. We don't have the right data in here, right? So it's going to be it's text CSV, and so we have the wrong data. But we just save this data, and this is going to be the right, I think. Let me see. We're going to need the application and so on. So that's going to be this. That's going to be an indicator. That's it is the right one. So we're going to go for edit, and we're going to choose the data we just prepared. It's going to be the ABZ in here, I think. And then we hit save, and then we're going to have the right one. Yeah, it's going to be the correct one. So what we're going to do is actually the code is not working, and that's a little bit strange, to be honest, but we will figure out why it is. But let's go on. We will go on for a new one. It's gonna go the ABZ. It's gonna go this, and it will be the create working times, right? So we're gonna hit this. The create working times has caused some code coverage, and so we will go on with that. There was a script thrown exception. Okay, let's go. Okay, it's going to 11%. It can be because earlier it skipped this one, and later on the code coverage was bigger, but by now it's a script thrown exception. Okay. As you can see here, we need to get the children for sure. Yes, we need to get the children, but there was a script thrown exception. Okay, as you can see here, it is equal to the folder, but we need to get the children as well. Yeah? We need to get the children. And if it's gonna be a test, it needs to take another metadata string, right? So we're gonna go into the method. The method is gonna coming from. I will tell you. This is gonna be the variable. So you're gonna have to scroll up a little bit, and then you can see here's the definition of this one. This is gonna be the class, and you should have a look on if the class is defined within the system. If this is the case, just open it up, and we will have the one. And by now, as you can see here, this variable has been declared, and then it will be initialized. And so we're gonna have a new instance of this, and we can use it within the code. Beforehand, we cannot use it. Yeah, it always needs to be initialized. So, right, the request is down there. So we say like the variable dot the method name, and then you can see we are using 2 of the parameters, and then we go to we are looking for something like a string. Yeah, that's correct. Because I know it's like a map string. Okay, this is gonna be a map string something. Yeah, so we're gonna go for this. That's gonna giving back a map string something. Yeah. So, and if you do it right, it will just give out the right thing. As you can see, we changed something in the HTTP Google request, and as we don't know, if we put out something, we should just change the outbound change set. Yeah, and as you can see, we didn't change anything, and so it emphasizes us to add a new record to the outbound change set, because later on we of course have to deploy the stuff. It's always the case. So HTTP Google request, we're going for this, and add. It's no functionality, but it's better to read, right? So always, if you change something in here, it will be put. Now you can see that it is gonna getting the deserialized untype, and then we're gonna getting the children string, but we are looking for something like 2. The signature of 2 parameters. It can be this for sure, but to make sure that we are getting the right child ID, what is it gonna be? The child ID is gonna be a string, and so we are looking for something like a string on the second. Yeah. So to make it a little bit quicker, because sometimes you can be in a really big environment, you can go get it to Notepad++. And to make it a little bit more comfortable, I would say, if you have a really big data or a really big container, then you can go like, let me see, that's the child ID. Yes, you can get this one, right? You're looking for the get Google children. So you're gonna looking for something like this one, get Google children. Okay. You're also looking for something like that is this type. That is what we already said, but we want to make it a little bit more comfortable, and so we are looking for something. Yeah. So now we are coming to the regEx. That's why we need to switch to regEx. Now here it is in German, but I think in English it's quite the same. Yeah. You just need to switch it to into this structure. Okay. That is what we are looking for. We can already look for this, yeah, but we don't have quite an overview. What we want to have is, and that is exactly what we know right from this information. The child ID is going to be a string, and so somewhere back there comes a string, yeah, somewhere, and also before the string is going to be a comma, yeah. That is also what we know. And also what we know is then there's coming something before, but we don't exactly know what is coming before. So what we're gonna do is we will say the regEx that there's coming something that is not a comma, and that is coming stars times. Star says it is can be 0, or so none of these signs are coming, and or they are coming several. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something. Yeah, that can come. Then somewhere there will come a comma, and after the comma, there will also can be that there are coming some spaces. Yeah, it can be. Or let's say it's always better to have something like what is not a big S, and then stars time, and then there's coming in S, right? Let's go for this. No, not like this. I think we are looking for this one. Yeah? Let's try it out. Okay, it's not finding it. If it's not finding it, we will just divide it a little bit. Just cut this out and try to look for this. It is finding it. That's fine. So the first part should be fine in my opinion. But the second part, the second part is like there comes a comma. Yeah. So go for it. Okay, there comes a comma. That's fine in my opinion. And so we're gonna go for the S. It's gonna go like this. Okay. So there come some points of non-S, and then there's coming in S. Yeah? So and exactly this is what it doesn't like. Okay, let's say it's coming in S. Okay, let's say it's coming one time. No, it's not finding it. Okay. S. Okay, now we have an error one time. Let's look for it again. No, okay. It's a little bit strange, to be honest, because the S should be fine. So this is what we are looking, or what is fine for him. Okay. But we don't need go on because we already found the right one, because there's nothing more. Yeah, there's nothing more. So we have the right structure in here. What we're gonna do is that's gonna be the line 680. 680 is gonna be in here, I guess. And so you can handle big code, right? As you can see here, we will just take out the lines. It's better to read, I think. And then, as you can see here, we are getting another method, like next page token and folder ID. But it's another method. So we can go into our structure, and we know that this is going to be a string. Yeah. And so we can go for this one. We only have it one time. And so it's going to be in 657. Yeah. So this is going to be here. And now we can just have a look on what is exactly it is doing. You can, I said, yeah, you don't need to maybe. But actually we should go on and take what is taking out of there. So we don't need to understand this properly, because we know that it's going to be a string, and the string is gonna go into a map. Yeah, that is what we exactly know. But what we need to do is we want to have the content. Yeah. And so, in my opinion, this is going to be the content, and it's coming out. And so this is the content. We can just go for it, actually. This is going to be the content. And also, I think we should set up in the mockup, right? The mockup is like ABZ mockup. Yeah. We need to make a setup in there relating to what we already did for the endpoint, right? So we need to get the endpoint, and that is exactly what I'm doing here. System.debug. I will just debug the endpoints. Yeah. And let's say we are doing it for today. 2020, 12, 3, endpoint. Yeah. And can we get the endpoint? Not from here. Yeah? We cannot do it in here, but we can do it in here somewhere. As we already know, that's going to be the endpoint, and so we're going to have the endpoint. And as you can see here, maybe we can already build this endpoint. The endpoint is going to be like this, okay. And let's go for this. I will go for the order and so on. Yeah, let's just take this part out of it and go to the mockup and say if it's okay. That should be the case, to be honest. But not equals. Let's say it's gonna. Yeah, let's go for the string endpoint. We are going for the endpoint. And as we are changing, oh no, it's for the ABC, that's fine. As we are changing something today, I would say 2020, 3 December, just to be sure about this, what we changed today and so on. And also the endpoint is gonna be this one, right? So this is gonna be our endpoint. And the endpoint needs to start with this. Starts with, and also ends with, right? Starts with, no, not, let's say we are taking this out. It starts with this, and the endpoint is gonna go end with this. This is gonna go the endpoint. Let's hit save. And now we changed something, and maybe it works already, right? Let's go for the test if it's working, because we already put something in here, I guess. That should be the response string. But actually we have it has been done in real time, in real time, right? Let's go for this one. Let's go for create working times. If you are not able to let's say if you're not able to solve it by now, we will just skip it and we'll do it the next time for sure. But actually it is a success in here, but it is not, the data is not created, and so we got an issue for sure. That's why we will put it into the user story. To do opportunity needs to be created. Yeah? It's not being created. It's because of the test data maybe, but it's going to be a to-do. And also the next to-do is going to be like let's say we are putting in where we have been. Yeah. Let's put in a code snow. Where's it gonna be? We're somewhere here, right? In the get Google children response string. Yeah. Last step, last action was in HTTP something dot this one. It's gonna be the HTTP Google request, right? This one, last action. And for the next time, we know what we have done last time. I thank you really much for your time. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's just let it know into within YouTube. Yeah, just I can only get better if you let me know. For sure, that is a lot of stuff, but as you remember, our society and also our humanity or the world is pretty infinite, and so it's just the attempt to make it a little bit more comfortable for us all, and yeah, we just need to make sure that we understand each other. Yeah, that's the main thing. Okay, so see you next time. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, Christoph.